This is the Fearless Agent Podcast, where you learn how to make way more money fast selling real estate with your host, the Fearless Agent himself, Bob Loeffler.
Good day to you. This is Bob here at the Fearless Agent Podcast for real estate sales professionals like you, where we explain that everything you've been taught by the real estate industry is completely wrong, and you will make lots more money in way less time by doing the exact opposite. I'm joined by my in-studio guest, the lovely Patty Crowley. Say hi, Patty.
Hey, Bob.
So here I want to begin today by talking about some observations that I think you guys have all made. So first of all, you know, the market changes. The market is always going up. The market is always going down. It's always been that way. It's always going to be that way. But for some reason, in every market, there's this tiny group of agents that just keeps getting better and better and better because they are what we like to call market proof or fearless agents. And we have a caller on the line that happens to be a current Fearless Agent coaching student. He is the world's greatest realtor in the entire United States, or at least that's how he asked me to introduce him, the lovely Jeremy Critt. Say hi to the folks, Jeremy.
Hi, everyone. How's it going?
And you are hailing from Austin, Texas. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Austin, Texas.
Now, what we want to talk about today is how fearless agents can get way more money, make way more money in way less time. And I think it would be interesting if we just talked a little bit about your story. When I first talked to you, you were living in Abu Dhabi. Is that correct?
That's right.
And what were you doing there, for goodness sakes?
I was teaching English as a foreign language at a university in Abu Dhabi, at Zayed University, the top university in the United Arab Emirates.
And then you knew you wanted to be a realtor, so you signed up for my coaching even before you came to America, or back to America.
That's right, Bob. You know what? I just want to share something about that point. I looked at a lot of different people, but when I heard you speak, when I heard what you had to say, I just knew you were the one.
Well, thank you. So then you get to Austin, Texas. You join a real estate company. You're starting from scratch. And by the way, your family was living in South Korea, the good Korea. Right?
That's correct.
And
That's correct.
So you needed to make enough money to get them here. And we were able to accomplish that for you and many other things. So why don't you just tell the folks what your experience with Fearless Agent coaching was and how that went for you?
Absolutely. So, I moved back to the United States, and I came to Austin, Texas. I had never been to Austin before. I don't even think I'd ever visited Texas before. And so I knew nobody. I had no connections, got my license, got together with my company at RE/MAX 1 in Austin, and then I just started.
That was a shameless plug for those of you who didn't notice.
and I just started, and basically I said to myself, I'm going to do everything Bob says to the T. I'm not going to deviate. I'm not going to follow any other program or person. I just really committed to the Fearless Agent system, your system, Bob, and from day one. And I got my first listing 28 or 27 days in, and I sold it, very quickly. And I mean, it just basically was just a textbook Fearless Agent kind of transaction.
And you do your listings at least 1% higher than all the other agents in your office, if not 2 in some cases.
I am able to command, higher fees, you could say, because my clients really see the value that I provide them in the approach that I use to sell their house, which is really your approach, Bob.
Mm-hmm. And most agents, when they get into real estate, they think everything's going to be easy, and then reality sets in and they go, hey, this is a lot harder than it looks. And one of the problems is our industry really does not help. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but Realtor Magazine is a publication that all us realtors get. And in every issue of Fearless Agent magazine, I always count up the number of full-page ads and full-page articles on two topics. One is technology, and the other is sales skills. And in a typical issue, there's usually 9 or 10 about technology. How many are there about sales skills? I've never seen a single one. I don't think you have either. And if you look at your license in Arizona, it says salesperson right on the license. If it says for sale right on the sign, this is the sales business, but it's as if sales is an afterthought in our business. So, I think you have learned, or what I've taught you, and you have learned, is that real estate is a very simple business. So if you think about it, you're really not going to find yourself in hundreds of situations. It's a very limited skill set. So you're going to find yourself sitting across from some people that are thinking about selling their house doing a listing presentation. You're going to find yourself talking to those same people about pricing their house correctly, doing a pricing presentation. You're going to, perhaps they are for sale by owners, so you would be doing a for sale by owner presentation. You might find yourself sitting in your office across from some people who are thinking about buying a house, doing a buyer presentation. Then you take those people out, hopefully getting them to sign a buyer broker agreement before you ever search the MLS or show a single house, which all Fearless agents are able to do effortlessly. Then you're showing the houses, and there's a right way and a wrong way to do that. And Jeremy, you might have noticed if you watch any TV reality show about real estate on Home and Garden Network TV, you can see the wrong way to show houses. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely.
And then they say, they fall in love. Then you got to go back to the office and write it up, and getting them to write an acceptable offer. That's a presentation. Then there's presenting that offer to your seller or to someone else's seller or to a buyer agent or to a seller agent or to a bank or somebody. So that's a presentation. And then you've got investors, and really that's about it. So I look at everything as a presentation model. So what if you had a killer set of words, a memorized or step-by-step presentation for each one of those scenarios that you're going to find or situations that you're going to find yourself in. In fact, I would venture to say, if you had just one of those, a killer memorized word-for-word listing presentation that you absolutely love, that works every single time, you would be earning an above-average income very quickly in real estate. But if I had 100 average agents, how many of them would have even that one presentation? And the answer is probably none. And the reason for that is the industry always has us over here worrying about staging and social media and all this stuff that never makes anybody any money. But the reality is none of that's going to matter if you can't sell. So what we teach everybody to do is basically five presentations and a couple of others, which is listing presentation, which you have mastered, the Fearless Agent listing presentation, the Fearless Agent pricing presentation, the Fearless Agent for sale by owner presentation, the Fearless Agent buyer presentation, and the investor presentation. And then it's just about how to present offers the right way, how to negotiate offers the right way, the Fearless Agent way. And then once you have all that, then you're never going to be afraid to get yourself into those situations. So part of your goal when I had with you, when you were brand new with me, was to schedule 5 listing appointments a week. And I think you would admit, Jeremy, that is not easy, but you have done it. Isn't that correct?
I have done it.
Yeah.
I have done it.
So what is the secret to your success? Just tell the folks out there what you think. Give them advice if you were going to give them advice.
Well,
while I drink coffee, because that's the most important thing.
The first piece of advice.
This episode is brought to you by Folgers. It's the richest guy. It's mountain grown, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, my first advice would be to call Bob and just do everything he says. I mean, the thing is, I think what's helped me kind of grow so much. I mean, I literally started from absolute scratch, zero. I mean, just complete dead start, and I have so much momentum now. And I think the reason why is, number one is that I have you, Bob. I have the Fearless Agent system, which does give you the right words to say in every real estate situation. That is absolutely true. That is absolutely correct.
And I allow you to call me anytime, don't I?
Absolutely.
What was I thinking?
I've called you. Exactly.
Patty, you call me sometimes.
I do call.
What was I thinking? I don't know. It's crazy.
I've called you at all different kinds of hours.
And I am lonely, so that's okay.
Oh, thank you, Bob. Thank you. Yeah. Moments of crisis, moments where deals are crashing and burning, and you've helped me save them. So a lot of your coaching has been, with me, situational, and that's been amazingly helpful because, every transaction has its own little fingerprint, but the basic fundamentals are the same, with each one. And so when I've had problems, I mean, you have literally saved, I don't know how many deals you saved, but you saved a lot of my deals because you just kind of got my mind straight.
If you go to dealinflames.com, Jeremy's picture is there, sadly. Patty, what's that all about?
I love it.
I don't know what his problem is. That's okay.
So
he's normal, I think. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Bob, something that's coming to mind is my first deal. I remember my first deal. I mean, I put it on the market. I didn't know what to expect.
I tried to block it out of my mind, but I can remember it too.
All of a sudden, my phone was blowing up. We were in multiple offers, and I was like, even though we had talked about these kinds of things before, it was my first experience. And I remember calling you, and I gave you the situation. You're like, Jeremy, stop right now, go back to your office, and call me back. And then we went through offer by offer, and you helped me analyze them and taught me how to present them to my seller. And without that, I would have messed it up for sure.
Now, I just want to point something out to people that already know this that are listening. Jeremy comes across on the phone like the guy you would list your house with. You can just tell that he's sincere.
Thank you, Bob.
He's a very nice guy. He would never let you down. And so if you're that kind of person, you're the right person for real estate. When you care more about the customer than you do about making money, you'll make a lot more money. And Jeremy is that way. By the way, let me just do a shameless plug here. If any of this stuff that we're talking about makes sense to you and you're earning less selling real estate than you wish you were, like Jeremy was when he was brand new, and you're open to the idea of having some help, if you would like to learn more, you can always call me anytime, like Jeremy does, at 480-385-8810. That is my cell phone. And, let's just see if you and what you're trying to do and what we do, if it would even be a good fit. So my phone number again is 480-385-8810. I love talking to realtors. I don't want you to think you're ever bothering me. Do not email me. Do not text me. Always call me. We teach sales, and sales doesn't happen through texting or emailing. So 480-385-8810. Toll free day or night. If you can't afford coaching but you wish you could, please visit fearlessagent.com. Watch the free webinar. It's 45 minutes. Take lots of notes. Go to the video training page. And here is my guarantee, and I'm sure Jeremy would agree of this. Those free videos will be better coaching for free than you would pay any other coach in America any amount of money for. And if you ever have a question, you can always call me because we want to help you for free so that you can afford our coaching in the future. So we're here for you. So, again, fearlessagent.com. So I just want to get back to the secret to Jeremy's success. First of all, he's a nice guy. And anybody who's nice on the phone, and by the way, Jeremy will admit he's not the best on the phone. He has a couple of bad habits on the phone that we've tried to work on by slapping him repeatedly, but that's okay. It's okay. But he is a nice guy on the phone, and he's a hard worker, and he's willing to do long hours at very high pay. And actually, that paid off so well that you were able to move your family back from South Korea to Austin, Texas, which is a better place to live, I think, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Where everything is bigger, So, so one of the things that Jeremy learned is secret number one of Fearless Agent, and that is know what you actually get paid for. So if you're taking notes, I would write these things down. So I want to teach you in the future episodes of this podcast what it is that we're focusing on is the secrets to making more money. And number one is know what you actually get paid for. So what is it that the Fearless Agents do that the struggling, failing agents don't do? And it is 5 things. And number one is they generate leads every day. They understand that they're in the lead generation business, not the real estate business. Number 2 is that you attend 3 listing appointments a week. And I'm going to make the assumption that listings is what you want to focus on. By the way, if you don't ever want to do listings, you want to do buyers only, we coach you in that too. We just have a different track. But most people who contact me, they want to focus on listings. So if you attend 3 listing appointments a week, if you think about it, you could be a complete head of lettuce and somebody is just going to like you, right? And they'll list with you. So most of us who are great listing agents would admit that we're not getting these listings through our great sales skills. A lot of it is just hitting it off with people. And then number 3 is to build a database and feed it, and to understand that nobody should deserve the right to get into your database for follow-up calls or certainly any marketing you would ever do until they have said, yes, I am selling, we are moving, that is a fact. Not we want to sell, but we have to sell, and it's going to be within 2 years for certain. And then number 4 is control all appointments. Somebody is going to be in control on every listing appointment, every buyer appointment, every investor appointment. So who do we want it to be? We want it to be you. And then finally, to be in control of your time so that you have balance in your life. And I think Jeremy would admit that that's an ongoing challenge. Now, he has how many kids?
2.
He's down to 2. He had 3. One didn't work out, but you know how it is. So, in fact, these 2 were put up for adoption, but they brought them back, is what I heard. Anyway, so, but if you're in control of your time, I always say real estate can be a great living, but it is not necessarily a great life. So my dream for Jeremy and every Fearless Agent coaching student is that you have the life I did when I was in real estate. You don't have to work weekends. You can take Saturday and Sunday off, no phone calls, no emails, no texting on the weekends. And if that involves having an assistant or a coworker that helps you out, it would have to be one of those 2 things. And then you're working hard during the week, scheduling 5 listing appointments. So that's really one of the secrets to success that all Fearless Agents do that separates them from the agents that are not having as good a result. So what is it that Fearless Agents like Jeremy know? And Patty, by the way, she knows this. Patty, tell us everything you know.
Oh, do you don't want to know?
We have 30 seconds to kill.
Okay.
So here's what Fearless Agents know. I call it the 2, 2, 5, and 2. There's only 2 jobs in real estate that you ever get paid for. And one of them is scheduling an appointment, and the other is getting the signature. And there's a lot of other things that we have to do or that we don't have to do that we do. But did I just say do on the air? Okay, that's sad. But we don't get paid for those things. So it's scheduling appointments and getting signatures. There's only 2 types of ways to communicate. 2 ways to communicate to get those 2 jobs that we get paid for to happen. And when I say communicate, I'm not talking about social media. I'm not talking about direct mail. I'm not talking about Facebook. I'm not talking about texting or emailing. I'm talking about a telephone conversation is what it's going to be that books a listing appointment, and it's going to be a face-to-face interaction that gets a signature or books an appointment. And then there's really 5 presentations, again, that we need to know. So it's listing presentation, pricing, for sale by owner, buyer, and investor. Then you're never in a money-making situation where you don't have the exact right words to say. And I would say Jeremy is one of those people who is no longer finding himself in situations where he does not have the exact right words to say. And if he ever does, he calls me and I tell him to him. Isn't that right? So then,
absolutely true.
And then there's 2 obstacles that keep us from earning our full worth. And one of them is, what do you say when the seller or the buyer or somebody says those things we love to hear them say, like, oh, we're thinking about renting it out instead of listing it, or we want to fix it up before we put it on the market, or we want to think about it, or we want to wait, until the market gets better, or we want to try it for sale by owner, or we tried it with a realtor and it didn't work, or we want to whatever, right? So I would call that objection handling. And then finally, you could be great at all of that stuff and none of it will ever matter if you cannot manage your time. So I don't care whether you're brand new, like Jeremy's problems that he was having with time management when he was brand new are much different than they are now. Now he's got all these deals under contract. And how many agents are in your total company, Jeremy?
It's over 100, a little over 100.
And you are ranked in the top 10, I'm guessing now, aren't you?
I'm definitely almost positive I'm the top new agent.
You're number one in my book.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm definitely in the top 20-25% of the company from when I last checked.
Yeah. So he is very successful. Certainly, there are no agents that have been with a company less time than you that are anywhere near your production. I know that.
I think that's true. Yes.
So, and he is a little more humble than he should be, probably. But I will say this: if anybody has a referral for a listing in Austin, Texas, give out your phone number so they can call you.
Absolutely.
Now, use the real phone number this time, not the 900 number that he normally uses.
Yeah, so Jeremy Critt, RE/MAX 1 in Austin, and my number is 512-808-3033.
Again, that is toll-free,
Happy to serve your people.
Day or night. Yeah, and he will do a great job. Well, Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Bob. My pleasure.
Any parting words for anybody out there? Words of wisdom, advice you can give?
Just call Bob. Just call Bob.
And they can do that at 480-385-8810. Patty, do you have any words of wisdom for the folks?
Oh, no, they have to call you.
They do have to call me, don't they? It is a law now.
You cannot be afraid to call
Only in Arizona is that a law.
No, everyone's afraid.
No, it's nationwide, I think.
People think you're a celebrity, Bob, and so they're afraid to call you. Yeah, that's what I found.
My dog does not think I'm a celebrity.
Yeah, I know.
My wife does not think I'm a celebrity. Sure. You do not think I'm a celebrity.
I do not think you're a celebrity, but I know that they should call you.
All right. Well, thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Patty. And once again, we want to thank you all for joining us today. Please do visit us at fearlessagent.com. You can call me directly, once again, at 480-385-8810. You can visit us on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, the car wash, Starbucks, the dry cleaners. I'm everywhere you look. Always, until next week, always have fun. What else is it, Jeremy?
Be humble.
And most of all, be fearless. Thanks, everybody.